right, we're back, and welcome to another edition of the Fresno City Football Report. And for the second straight week, we are talking about a win. As always, joined by the head coach of the Rams, Tony Caviglia. And Coach, tell me who you brought today.
Yeah, I got Josue Madrigals, who's an outside linebacker and came out of Madera High School, freshman, and really had a phenomenal game Saturday, and it was good to see.
Josue, you're the only Madera Coyote on the squad, but one of two players from Madera. Amani Sua went to Torres High School. How much fun was that game on Saturday? You guys got a 33-6 win at Monterey Peninsula College, your second straight victory. I bet that bus ride home was pretty fun, huh?
I just feel like that after that win, it just really set the mood for our whole team, because after a continued win, you just have that confidence in your whole team, and you can just feel it in the team. Everyone has energy. Everyone's just in a good mood.
What'd you guys do well on Saturday? How'd you think you got it done?
Everything was just going well for our team. We were stopping the pass, stopping the run, obviously, but mainly stopping the pass, because that's what our game plan was.
Coach, first time ever for you at Monterey Peninsula College. Kind of a fun environment there. We had a little bit of that Monterey mist coming down in the second half, but generally speaking, a fun day for football. And you guys, complimentary football on Saturday. The offense played well, defense played well. That's kind of all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, really. It was, they're 6-1 football team. They're a really good football team. They beat some good teams. They have a wanted passing attack. They have 4 and 5 receivers that can really go get the ball, and the quarterback is a kid from Arizona, is really talented kid, and I was really happy with how we played pass defense, how we played the ball in the air. We bent a little bit, but we didn't break. Played great in the red zone, and defense wins championships, and I think our defense is starting to play a lot better football now.
You guys nearly got a shutout in the game. You shut them out in the first half. They got a late score in the second half, but maybe the best defensive effort of the season, you think?
Well, I just think we just followed a real good game plan. Our staff put together a good game plan to stop this team. If we were playing for a shutout, we would have probably not played as many guys. But it's important. We get guys in the game to be able to play, and because they practice all week and they put their time in. So to be able to play our bench and play our roster too in a game like this is really important. So playing guys that haven't played a lot is more important than a shutout.
I know offensively, Yajae Vance played well again. You played 2 quarterbacks, both led touchdown drives in the first half. Played 3 quarterbacks, sorry, yeah. Christian English and Yajae in the first half. David Marquez got in there in the second half as well, and led you guys on a touchdown drive through a beautiful touchdown pass to Amani Sua, Josue, that other Fresno City Ram from the city of Madera. How exciting was that for you to see Josue get that touchdown, Amani get that touchdown, knowing that it's a fellow Madera city guy?
I was just excited for him because, that's just my buddy. I've known him since childhood. So just seeing him succeed in the game just gets me more hyped up for the game as well.
Yeah, and you had a strip sack in the second half as well. That was big. Tell me about the position you play with Fresno City and what your role is.
Well, the role is you're kind of an outside linebacker. You're also rushing off the edge, trying to get the sack. And then also there's plays where you're in the coverage. You got to cover a wide receiver or even play man on him. So you just got to be that hybrid athlete on being kind of a heftier guy since you're playing on the line, and then also being an athlete trying to race down these receivers.
And they call it the Joker position. Is that correct? Yeah. Where does that name come from? Do you even know? Or
I honestly don't know. That's just what they told me.
Coach, where does that name come from? Like, is there any reason that it's called the Joker? Or
that hybrid outside linebacker in the 3-4 defense has a number of names at all the different levels of football, and we've chosen to use the word Joker when we switched to 3-4 defense. Probably about, I think, 6 years ago.
Okay.
And it fits the position, because it's kind of a wild card, that type of deal. So yeah, we're just Some people call it an edge. Some people call it a hybrid. Some people call it a Leo. Some people call it different things, but it requires a lot of different skills, and finding that player who can play that position is really important to the defense.
Yeah, what kind of skills does a player have to play that hybrid rush end / can drop into coverage from time to time?
Well, if you could do both, you're really going to be good. If you can rush the passer, if you have the skills to beat a tackle, if you can contain the run, you can play those big offensive tackle blocks. You got to be able to play the run game, the wrong arm game, the contained game, and then you got to be able to reroute receivers and run with them. So to find a guy that can do both that's hard. What sometimes a lot of times you find a guy like Josue who's actually better rushing the passer than he is in coverage, but he's adequate in coverage. And then we have guys that are really good in coverage, maybe can't hold up real good with the big tackles. So you kind of mix and match those guys a little bit. But as being a freshman football player, Josue is going to develop all the skills that he's going to need to do to be able to play that position and play it well, regardless of what we ask him to do.
Let's talk a little bit more about the win over Monterey Peninsula before we move on and get to know Josue a little bit more as well. Offensively, Yaje Vance played well, like I mentioned, as did all three quarterbacks who played. Yaje, 12 of 16 in this game for 144 and 2 touchdowns. Receiving-wise, Ray Brown out of Edison High School, the freshman, 4 catches, 74 yards. He had a couple receiving touchdowns in the game. That was kind of fun. Yaje, Edison High to Ray Brown, Edison High. So those guys obviously have some kind of connection going. And then, Fresno City ran the football a lot better in this game too. And Jordan Colbert was kind of leading the way there. 9 carries, 60 yards, including a long of 22 in that game. Averaged nearly 7 yards a carry. Christian English, one of the quarterbacks who played, he ran the ball well too. He always runs the ball well. I mean, he's a super athlete. 4 carries for 40 yards in the game. But a bunch of guys got carries. A bunch of guys got in the game. Even Chipson Cantave got in late and contributed. Being able to run the football, Coach, obviously is one of the hallmarks of any good football team. And it seems like you guys are discovering it a little bit here, that running game late in the season.
Yeah, we need to just continue to discover it. I think there's a lot more in there. We have really good guys in our backfield and our quarterback run games. Just continuing to get better. You got to run the ball to win games, especially at a high level. You can't be one-dimensional because defenses can hone in on you. But the run game consists of blocking. And we are becoming better blockers. And when we buy into that part of the offense, it's something that love to see the fruits of the labor on Saturday. So to be able to distribute the ball, have a lot of different guys. How many guys caught a pass in that game? Like 8 or 9 or 10.
I'm looking at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys.
7, and how many guys carried the ball?
Looks like 8 carried the ball.
Yeah, so we want a lot of guys,
including the quarterbacks. Yeah,
having opportunities and to get yards and put stress on defenses to have to defend a lot of different things. So, we like that's kind of where we like to be with our offense. But we have to continue to get better at blocking. I mean, it's the most fundamental offensive skill is and the desire to want to be a good blocker is something that our guys are starting to buy into.
And then Josue defensively, in the Monterey Peninsula game in particular, I mentioned you had a strip sack. Leading tackler in the game, no surprise, linebacker Antonio Cherry, the middle linebacker. Antonio Castro as well, another linebacker. The dueling Antonios have kind of been getting it done for the Rams defensively here. Another linebacker. Antonio Cherry, 9 tackles, Antonio Castro, 8 tackles. When you have guys in the middle like that, I know Castro plays a little bit on the outside, but linebackers that kind of support you at the second level the way they do, when you're there as a rush defensive end who also drops a little bit into coverage, but what does that do for you, as a rush guy, knowing that you have that support around you?
It just gives me the confidence because I know they can cover well, so that just gives me more time off the edge to get the QB, and those guys just make my job a lot easier.
How would you describe your defense as a whole? Like, is it aggressive? Is it kind of bend but don't break? What's the overall philosophy?
I feel like it's more of I feel like it's pretty aggressive. Like, we have a four-man front, and, most of the time I feel like we're kind of blitzing a little bit, mostly off the edge, obviously. And, yeah, I just feel like we're kind of aggressive, but then also it can change up.
Yeah. As a guy who rushes the quarterback, so often, right, you make a nice move or a good rush, and then you come up just short. They get rid of the ball, right? Yeah. And I know that could probably be a little bit frustrating from time to time. When you finally get to them, like you did on Saturday, and you get a strip sack, what's that feeling like?
There's just no better feeling than that. It's just football. Like, it's the best sport ever. It's just the repetitions of almost getting there, and just the
perseverance.
Yeah.
When
Yes.
you finally do, huh?
When you finally do it,
Yeah.
you're just so glad, and then you just made the play, so you're winning.
We always kind of laugh at defensive linemen and linebackers who rush the quarterback at their celebrations. I think, right? Like, sometimes they're a little wacky, coach, to be honest, but. I feel like it's almost like a release of emotion, right?
Yeah.
When they finally get there. So, first off, do you have a sack dance?
No, I feel like I just like, when I got my sack, obviously, I just went to go celebrate with my teammates. I was just yelling and shouting, just making sure everyone see my play.
Well, you've gotten to celebrate 4 times specifically after sacks this year, because you got 4 sacks total, 20 tackles from that position. That's an impressive number, through 8 games this season. Coach also told me, 6 quarterback hurries this year and 4 pass breakups. So it shows that you can do a little bit of everything. When you're practicing, like, how much time is spent on those skills, of rushing the quarterback, the swim move, working on those skills, and then how much time is spent, like, working on coverage and things like that?
It's kind of equal, honestly. Like, we have our certain drills where we're practicing, obviously, off the edge and using your hands. And then there's different times in practice where we're obviously in 7-on-7 practicing our drops, practicing our coverage. So it's just really equal, honestly.
Did you always play that position, even at Madera? Were you rushing the quarterback?
At Madera, I was more of a middle linebacker, but obviously, like, some of the plays I would obviously kind of rush off the edge, but not all the time, so it's kind of new to me.
Did you always know you wanted to play that position, though? Or were you, growing up, were you kind of like playing a lineman, or were you the quarterback when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, yeah, I was a little bit everywhere. Like, I started as a guard.
Okay.
And then I went to receiver, and then I finally ended up at the linebacker position, and I was just like, I really like this. I'm tackling. I'm all over the field. It just connected with me, so that's why I stuck with.
Okay. All right, so you played a little bit of offensive line, but you said you've touched the ball a little bit, right?
Yeah, at Madera,
yeah. Yeah. So you caught some passes at Madera?
I caught one pass. I caught one pass.
So is that the dream? I mean, I know Coach has mentioned it before. We have the defensive guys on here that the dream is, right, that pick six, or strip sack, take it into the end zone, right?
It's just, it's kind of, I feel like every football player's dream is just to score a touchdown, obviously.
Do you find, because you're talking about how you played a little bit of offense, but then that defense kind of was your comfort zone?
Yeah.
Did you find that? I mean, is there a certain mentality that some guys have where they realize, maybe you realized it early on that, you know what, I want to play defense. I want to be delivering the hits and not taking the hits.
I just feel like I just really liked, like, just making a big impact in the game. Like, you're stopping the offense. You're making them not score. That feeling of just making the offense just like, what am I going to do? What are we going to do about this guy? That feeling is just the best.
This is going to be a funny question, but I didn't realize you were a redhead, right? Until you came in today, because I usually see in your helmet. Anything about that red hair that kind of is a certain mentality, right? Or is there something about redheads, that in a way make them a little crazy or wild on the football field or anything like that?
I just feel like, a little all of redheads are just kind of, I feel like we have more energy. We're more just all around the place. So I feel like the ginger just gives me a little more energy on the field.
And by the way, that's some nice lettuce that you have up there as well, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just styled very nicely. There's some product in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Josue? Coach.
Only you to recognize that.
Well, you and me both, right? We don't need any product at this point.
Right.
The product we need is sunscreen when we don't have a hat on outside. Coach, when you first met Josue, or you saw him, you saw the high school film, what stood out to you about him?
Yeah, first time I saw him was at Ratcliffe when Madera played. Coach Pallinetti told us he was a guy that we should look at, and we got to watch him right at Ratcliffe Stadium, and he was sideline to sideline, that big athlete that can run, and it was a no-brainer for us.
And then you get him into Fresno City, and what jumps out to you when you first get him on campus?
Well, how he fit in. He, as a freshman coming in, he just fit right in. He went right to work, and I like his determination. I like his persistence. I like his, we can count on him. He's always going to be there. He's going to be ready to go. And you can just tell just by talking to him today, he's a positive guy, and he wants to do well, so the team does well, and that's the kind of guys we like.
All right, we got a big one this week, right? There's 2 regular season games remaining. Right now, the Rams are 4-4 overall, 2-1 in the Valley Conference. Checking those Valley Conference standings right now, Modesto and COS, who you play this week, are both 3-0. Then you got Fresno City at 2-1. Monterey Peninsula College, who you guys beat on Saturday, is now 1-2. Reedley 0-3 in the conference. Sac City 0-3. So you got COS this week and Reedley next week, and obviously, those are Central Valley rivals, right, Coach? I know you guys take the season 1 week at a time. We've talked about that before here, trying to go 1-0 each week. But it does feel like these games sometimes carry a little extra significance, not just because it's the end of the year, right, and every game is big, but because all these kids know each other, right? There's so many local products on both Reedley and COS, and you guys obviously got a ton of Valley products on your team as well. And so it seems to me that these games are fun, first of all, but they carry a little extra emotion. Yeah,
I think what you said, it's important that for our football team that we win this game Saturday. We got to prepare to win this game, and we got to go out and do it. That to me is the most important thing. We've done a great job climbing out of. We backed ourselves in the corner there early in the year. Kind of gave away a game at San Francisco, gave away the DVC game 1, and really had a good shot against San Mateo. We turned the ball over, which is not very characteristic of our football team and our offense. So that was a little bit frustrating, and it could have went sideways. And I really feel like the leadership on this team, we've grown together, the chemistry we've developed, and we went back to work, and my staff did a tremendous job getting these kids prepared and keeping them positive, keeping them confident, and we're starting to really play really good football. You want to really peak in November if you can toward the end of the year, and game Saturday is November 1st. It's first game in November, and we talked about this last year. I believe the games you remember are won in November, right? So it's important. Playing guys, at the local junior colleges. They know our players. We know their players. It's it adds a little bit of excitement to it, and also puts a little bit of pressure on each team to perform well. So, yeah, it's going to make for exciting football. It's going to be good to watch, and looking forward to seeing how we play Saturday.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Saturday at Ratcliffe Stadium, Fresno City and College of Sequoias. Should be a fun one. We'll be on the air at 12:40 on 940 Kino on the radio, and the game is also being broadcast by CMAC TV, and believe is streamed here on the KC24 CBS 47 Plus app as well. Josue, do you know any guys on COS? Is there anybody on that roster that you may have played with or played against and have a relationship with in any way?
No one that I could think of right now.
Bunch of Valley guys, though, in general, on those 2 rosters that you're going to be playing coming up. Do you kind of sense at this point in the season that you guys as a team and, talking amongst the players, that you guys realize the importance of these games late?
Yeah, because obviously the sophomores on the team, those are going to be their
sophomore day on Saturday. So it'll be the final home game for them, regular season home game at least for them.
Yeah, we just gotta. I feel like we kind of gotta do it for them because obviously, you never know. That might be the last time you ever see them. So, honestly, we just gotta come up as a team and just do it for them. Do it for your brothers.
That's pretty cool, when you're playing for a teammate, right? I mean, we see it with senior day a lot of time at the D1 level with Fresno State, but, sophomore day is the big deal at the junior college level, obviously, because it's more 2-year programs before players hopefully move on. But like you said, a lot of players are moving on to another opportunity, but some of them, this might be the last time they ever play a football game, like you're saying. And it's probably been a part of their life, right? Probably for you too as well. Like, when did you start playing football?
I started playing football around, I want to say, 4th grade, and it's never stopped since.
So when you think of how big a part it's played in your life, like, what has it meant for your life to always, have football there, and maybe the lessons that you've learned from it?
I just feel like football has really helped me with just about everything in my life. It's taught me lessons. It's made me meet a lot of people that I feel like will help me, obviously, throughout my life. If I ever need someone to hang on or just someone to talk to, and I feel like football really doesn't have any negatives. It's only positives and can really only help you in life.
All right, so you say the lessons. What's the biggest lesson maybe from playing football that you've got?
Just like Coach said, like when we were in a corner during the early season, just never give up. Just keep pursuing through the season or / life.
Yeah. No, those are great lessons, and sometimes people don't get those who aren't involved in team sports. Sometimes, as far as playing for your brother, playing for your teammate, and that's really, I think, what motivates people a lot of the time. People think of the glory, that comes from winning and all this stuff, Coach. And I know you've talked about this before. Not only developing players, but just the relationships that are built. And you see that, right? When you with players, they talk about the relationships when they look back on their playing days. But that is such a huge motivating factor, right? Playing for your teammates, especially on a football team, right? Where it's 80 guys and you got 11 on the field on both sides, at all times. It's like doing your job and playing for your brother, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And at the 4-year college level, there's those guys are now with the portal situation, you don't have, but at the high school level, kids have been playing with each other, like say from 4th grade, growing up with guys and playing high school football with them and developing them. The hardest thing in junior college is to develop that in a 2-year program, and this team will never be together again. This is half the team's gonna be gone, half the team's coming back. And then, just we're together for a short period of time, and the bonds that are developed at Fresno City College with our football players are, to me one of the greatest things that coaching at this level and coaching at Fresno City, because these kids make lifelong friends in a short period of time.
How emotional is sophomore day for you?
It's not emotional. It's just another. I'm excited for these guys to get another chapter. I mean, last year we had 32 guys get scholarships to play 4-year colleges. That's we have a lot of guys playing right now. I mean, Ryan Markarian's at McPherson College. They're 8-0 right now, and he's tearing it up. They're just ready to embark on the next step of their life, and it's not emotional. It's just something that we're proud of.
Yeah, I was watching ESPN2 last week, or may have even been ESPN, Middle Tennessee State. Yep. There's Najee Cox, scoring a touchdown, who was a Fresno City Ram last couple of years. Can't let Josue go here without asking him, Coach, about his nickname, Peanut. When you first heard that, what was your reaction?
I want to know what that is, too. I don't know where that came from either.
All right, Josue, Peanut, where does that come from?
Well, it all started when I was in my mom's stomach, right? And, I was kind of a shape of a peanut. I was the size of a peanut, and they took a ultrasound picture, right? And my grandma seen it. And she's like, "Oh, look at my little peanut," and it just stuck since then.
Okay, I like it. It's funny because you're obviously a big dude, big strong guy, and I talked to Jimmy Cranford's parents before last game. They came in and said hi in the press box. Shout out to the Cranfords. Enjoyed, chatting with them for a little bit. Just great people. And Jimmy obviously was a guest here on this show last week. But they were telling me how Jimmy was a premature baby, and now here he is, a 300-pound offensive lineman coach, and can squat or bench press, whatever the heck he can. He could probably bench press 2 of me and squat 3 of me at this point. But it's funny to think about someone like Josue, right? Big, strong dude here being called Peanut, right?
Yeah, and then a couple weeks, we had Squeaky a couple weeks ago. Right?
Yeah.
And Christian English, he was Squeaky when he was born, so it's kind of funny.
Nicknames, they're a big part of this stuff, right? I mean, it's just locker room talk and all that stuff. I mean, how much fun is just the interaction with the guys?
Yeah, everyone just, once they found out my name was Peanut, it was just like, they're just like, what the heck? Like, why did they call you Peanut?
And you're Peanut from that point on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're never again Josue, in any way, right? Yeah. No, that's great. All right. COS this week, 2 games left, Coach, what do you need to do well against COS? I mean, they're playing well. You guys have actually won 13 straight games against COS, so they're going to be motivated, right, coming in. But I know you guys are going to be chomping at the bit, too, because you want to finish off this season well.
Yeah, we got to keep building on what we've done here in the last few weeks, coming out of the bye week, and we're a different team now, and but COS poses a lot of problems too. They're extremely talented, both sides of the ball, and they're gonna test us a little bit different than Monterey tested us, but we're gonna have to prepare to win this game and prepare hard. Otherwise, we could come up short. And I want to just play a real good football game Saturday and find a way to get this W.
Josue, as we say goodbye to you, final thoughts on this experience and getting a chance to come over here. What do you think about this?
I just really want to say thank you to you, and then also
it's my pleasure
to the coach for giving me this opportunity. And I just really think it's like really cool to be in here, just being interviewed, talk about football. I mean, what better can I do this morning?
And we're going to be seeing Josue, you think, at the next level, Coach, for sure?
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Fresno City Football Report. Again, this Saturday, 1 o'clock against COS. It's a Central Valley rivalry there. The Rams have kind of dominated the series in recent years, but COS has a solid team, 2 good football teams matching up at Ratcliffe Stadium, 1 p.m. Go out there, check it out if you can. You won't be disappointed. But if you can't make it out there, just a reminder, you can listen on 940 Kino. I'll have the radio call along with former Ram Shannon Pulliam starting at 1240 on Saturday. You can also watch the game on CMAC TV and see it here streamed on the KC24 CBS 47 Plus app. All right, that's head coach Tony Caviglia. That's Joker, Josue Madrigales. He plays the Joker position, and that is another edition of the Fresno City Football Report. Guys, thanks so much.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you.